welcome to Sparse Antics. In this episode, we talk trailers. So I think the Volvo could do with a cool little trailer, especially if we're doing street weekend. It'd be pretty handy because I'm probably going to be sleeping in the back of the Volvo, so I need all the gear to go in a trailer, along with some spare wheels and stuff. So I thought I'd build one. Let's have a look at what I got so far and the plan of action. So the idea was to pick up a cheap little cool trailer. And then I saw this on Marketplace. It looked pretty cool. I got them both really cheap. Okay, this is the little trailer. So the plan of action is to narrow the tub of this Landrover Series 3, I think it is, to be essentially the same width as the Volvo. At the moment it's too wide. As you can see, I've got a few markings already with a few different ideas of how much I'm going to take out the centre. And I'm going to butt it back together and then piece and rivet a piece in. These are all riveted together anyway. Luckily, the way that this turned out, that centre tub sits perfectly inside there, pretty much. So my plan is to take the front off this trailer, take the back off the trailer, leave the side walls, which will slit inside the tubs, and then I should be able to sit that bed straight onto the floor of this. Hasn't actually got a wooden floor in here, it's steel, so that can come out. And then I can attach, put some strengthening ribs in and bolt and weld that all down to make it super strong. The biggest issue is wheels. These little tiddlies are no good. So I need a bigger wheel. So I've got to find a wheel that works with that old weird offset that will go under here and sort of work with the Volvo. So that's the plan. First thing I do is cut that in half and cut that up. Let's go. So looking at it now, I kind of feel like it could go a little bit smaller. Doesn't actually look that much narrowed. It just looks in proportion now, actually. Right, let's have a think. Okay, so I've chopped it down again. So now I've taken out this much material. And it's looking about right, I think. Next on the chopping block is this poor little trailer. Okay, so that's the nice German original trailer completely destroyed. For no apparent reason. So let's, I got that wood out. This floor is this little tray is amazing, sort of zero rust. It was fully galvanised back in 1974 when it was built. And it's done really well. Anyway, let's throw the tubs in, the Landrover, and see. Pretty happy with that. That looks about bloody perfect. Still, my original measurement might still be right. I could still nip a bit more out, I reckon. But that doesn't look out of proportion now. So the wheels on this thing are giving me the biggest issue. I believe these are 4x100. They could be 4-inch, but I've had the vernies on it and it's so close it's hard to tell. Obviously this body's not mounted down, it looks like it needs to go back a little bit. Limited space under these tubs, so I'm gonna have to take some really careful measurements. They've got to find some like 14s or 13-inch mini wheels or 14-inch Volkswagen wheels, but I need like a 0 offset. New wheel time, this is exciting. So, the trailer, we've chopped it, we've narrowed it, we've messed about with it, but I cannot dial it quite in until I set some wheels in there and work my poke and my offset to squeeze it in the gap. Now, there are some trailer tyres, 12-inch, 13-inch tall, nice and skinny, would go straight in, 0 offset, no problem, cheap and cheerful, job done. They're about 150 quid. But you know, maybe we can do better than that. So with a bit of research, I came across a company called Nuts for Wheels. Super helpful, super nice people, and these were an absolute bargain. 140 quid to my door, delivered for a pair. They are going to be a bit of a bugger to fit because most of the cool wheels have got quite a big J. So these are 7 Js, but what they have got to compensate is a good offset, -7. Most trailer wheels are a 0 offset, so at least it's going in the right direction. I was going to make some custom steels, but this is the solution. They're way too much for a trailer. Hope my missus isn't watching this. They are bad boys. Boom. 14s. That is never going to fit. Fab. Yeah, that offset's going to be interesting. Oh, I love the fake Chinesian wheel bolts. They are special. So there we go. Some ridiculous trailer wheels. They are wide, man. Oh, it's going to be tight. But they are going to look badass. Right, it's time to see how badly these wheels do not fit. And by the first mini impressions, there's going to be some serious trailer mods going on here. I don't know if it's even going to go on the hub without spaces. Well, it's already hitting the internals, but not by as much as you might think. I reckon I only need about 4 or 5 mil. Well, that's good news. So let's start by shaving where we need to and going from there. Well, I've taken a bit of fettling. That's just clearance, a few little bits, just to give space for the backlit. Even though these have got a -7 offset, but we are on. Like Donkey Kong. Right, moment of truth. Will the tub go back on? Still looking pretty sweet though. But you see what I mean? We've got 0 poke, but I don't have the tyre. Because we've got there's a bit of a lip on the back of here, so I can probably take off and roll the lips on them. Let's put both sides on and give it a double check. This little project is getting a little bit more in depth. So, put the trailer on and the wheels sit exactly flush with the tub. Now I can roll the arches, give me a little bit more space, but I still think it's going to be a little bit too tight. So the only real solution is to narrow the rear axle of the trailer. I'm thinking 1 inch aside, so 2 inches in total. A 2-inch narrowing is in order. Problem is, it's all bolted through to this floor, which I've kept because it's kept all the geometry and the strength to it. If I take it off this and start messing about with it, I'm gonna have to make jigs and maybe make a little space frame chassis for it, for a trailer that's now smaller than it was because it's got a Landrover on the back and some stupid big old Japanese wheels. But why do I do it? God only knows. Well, let's crack on. So I'm just going to take this centre bracket off, chop the middle, narrow it up. Boom. Now it's just a matter of shortening it up. Okay, here's the axle. And now this is the bit I'm removing. Right, well as you can see, I've tacked on this angle there and there and there onto this side of the axle. And what that means is now these two, I will have to clamp it obviously, but they will meet absolutely perfectly in the right place. So I'm going to clamp this all up and start welding it up. Well, it's all clamped up, it's time to weld it in. And just need to put this centre bracket back on. By sitting on there, I know that all sits flush and square. And then I just need to, I've just centralised that off from corner to corner on the front and back to get that square, and I can buzz that back in. Okay, well that's this axle shortened up. Now I just need to put it back in the frame and try the wheels back on. Well, all that mess and work and cutting and measuring and tacking and welding and grinding and measuring and clocking about, I'll finally have the trailer base back together 90 mil shorter. Right, well I'm back where I started this earlier today. The trailer's back on the axle stand, it's all been narrowed. I'm ready to put the wheels on and put the tub on. Fingers crossed it's going to be good. Yeah, that is perfect amount of tuck. Pow, now we're talking. That is perfect. Wow. I've been to the tyre shop and I have got my wheels with some badass tyres. These are the sickest little trailer wheels you've ever seen. I really like them. And they weren't a lot of money. So, tyres for 14-inch wheels is a little bit tricky. But we found some 185s, 50s, 14s. I think it's going to be the perfect size. I was looking for a 45, they don't exist. So yeah, obviously we've narrowed the axle to make these wheels fit under the tubs. We've narrowed the tub. There's been a lot of narrowing going on. So I'm going to put these onto the chassis, and we're going to start building a frame for the tub to sit on. I think I'm going for an angular or box section frame off the axle, picking up all the suspension and the mounting points that the tub will then anchor into to make this thing super strong and safe. Let's have a look then. Let's put this wheel on. Exciting. They are some chunky little trailer tyres. Right, let's crack on and build the rest of this box frame then. Okay, the plan is forged. 2 chassis rails and the front and back outriggers. Let's go take a look. So here we go. I put this angle across the front section and I bolted it through where the body mounts would have mounted. And that's now picking up that whole front. The back, a little trickier. So I've got a piece of box section going in, picking up that pressing. And I've got this angle on top of it, which is going to get welded to that box section, which is then going to go back through again, these sort of mounts all the way along. And then to tie the back and the front together, we use this, I think it's 5mm wool. And that goes down there, ties into the back, ties into the front, and makes a little sort of like chassis. Just got to figure out then I've got to attach that all to the trailer. Right, let's get cutting and welding. Now I've drilled and gone through the original mounts on the back. Well, I think the bumper went through on these that was also attached to the chassis. So I've picked up all of this. These are all clamps can come off now. I just squared it all off because it was a little bit wonky. So I've now got both ends buttoned up completely. So I've got to cut these long lengths, tack them in. Okay. So my rails are in. And they're just tacked in to the front and the back. And it's all just sort of tacked in. But that's the general basics of this little chassis. So I'm going to unbolt all this, put it somewhere flat, weld it all up, put a few strengtheners in and slap it back in, and then put the base on, and then we can figure out how we're going to cut that. Then we're going to attach those two, the chassis and the trailer base together, and then the tub can just be lifted on and off until it's ready to bolt down. And then it just bolts down through these bolts. Simple. And there we go. One custom top chassis. Okay, this is the chassis all mini frame, all squared off. I've just added on these extra riggers which are going to pick up the axle, which are also going to be on the floor anyway, which is all reinforced across. So the whole floor gets picked up and the axle gets an extra pickup. So that's pretty much done now. Just got to put a few noggins in to tie those two together. But right, that's the chassis built. So we'll turn it upside down and mock it all together with the floor and the wheels, The chassis back together. One custom Landrover conversion trailer chassis. Right, well I've finished all the welding and the fabrication work on this little trailer. Got the original floor out of the other trailer in here as well. all sandwiched in and welded in. So now it's just a matter of painting it all and getting it ready to reassemble. Next step, what I've done is rivet a strip of the bit I cut out and bonded it to the section that's joined together all the way down, and that has made it super strong. I've also done the same on the end as well. So that's pretty much all ready to go back on the freshly painted chassis. Well, I think that's it. She's all bolted up for the final last time after 4,000 chassis mock-ups and messing about. Should have plop her on her wheels and we're job done. Yeah, I spent way too much time on this trailer. Oh well. We're all booked in for street weekend. So this trailer's going to come in pretty handy for that. Pop it on the ground, and then it just needs the fiddly bits. I've got to find a tailgate for it, a boot, whatever you want to call that, thing at the back, which I'm going to have to cut up and narrow. I've got to wire up for the lights. And then she's good to go. Oh, number plate, need a number plate. I've ordered one up, so. Cool, right, let's get it off. So that's pretty much done. Feels super solid, as it should do. Nicely balanced. Just a little bit of nose weight, which I think is what it was before, so I'll try to keep it the same. We've got about 20mm clearance above the tyres and the tubs, so no tubbing required. Yeah. Sweet. We're here at AL Landrover Services. Ooh, come in. Oh, here's the boss lady. Is that the same dog? That dog moved quick. So we're here to chop up an old Land Rover for my stupid trailer.
Looking forward to it.
Trailer.
So yeah, let's go chop it up. Oh, here's my tub. So basically I've just come for this back door really, and the hinges. So we've got them for the trailer. Let's lift this thing up, and the bolts are all rusted. I've got one off, so I have to cut that one and get underneath and cut the rest. Well, I am back from AL Services. If you've got a Land Rover and it's broken, which they seem to all be broken, not a bad business to be in, and you're on the south coast, they are the place to go to. I'll put a link in the description below. Nice guys, good work. You may recognise Jay, who is one of the head mechanics there. He's been in a few of my videos. There's two videos he's been in. He's been in the one where we went and discovered all the vehicles that have been sat for 20 years in the barn, and we actually pulled out a T25 on his little truck. And then he's also another one when I was driving that little moped. I hopped up to go stupidly quick. He is in that because he was driving past the other way and he did some filming for me. So I'll put a link to both those videos below. But otherwise, yeah, he's also got his own channel. Go and check that out. I'll put a link in that below. We're linking up. Anyway, we have got a problem here. That boot is too big for that hole, which we knew. But it's got all the hinges on, which is sweet. Oh, it's going. But it's got all the hinges on, which is sweet. And also I picked up these little jobbies. Some tails and lights. I think that's all the bits we need for now. I've also found someone that's selling all the top, another trailer with all the top cappings. I'm not worried about it too much for now, but when I get a chance to get over there, I'll grab them, but they're about an hour's drive, so I'll just wait till I'm going past. For now, let's just focus on this back door and the lights, and then I can use it, because I kind of could do with it. Anyway, enough chat, more action. Well, I think it's fair to say there's some weight reduction there. We've got all the top cut off, this massive wheel, the hanger thingy, and this steel girder, a wiper motor, and all kinds of stuff. All that's chopped out. Now we're left with a door that's too wide. So I'm actually going to hang it, mark it, chop it. Landrover. I should have known. The rust in this thing is a little worse than hoped. I'm just kind of digging out all the rot. I'll have to make some sort of repair panel to go in that bottom edge, but I won't bother till I've cut it up. Rust. Two become one, obviously. One becomes two. Chopped. There seems to be a slight problem. Why is that one higher than that one? Defenders must be taller than Series. I don't know anything about Land Rovers. Oh well, more cutting. So basically, to make this door smaller, it's tons more work. I got to cut it in half that way and in half that way, because Defender doors are taller than Series doors, which I didn't know because I'm not a Land Rover guy, but I'm learning. So I've started off by essentially taking all of the strengthening out. Taking all of this strengthening out. And then separating it in half. And then taking off that bit. I'm going to cut that bit out. That gets welded back in there on my marks. And then that's shortened to the correct height. I'll then cut and fold the aluminium over. So that's that end cutted. Now this one I'm going to cut the bottom. So I'm going to weld this back to that after cutting it down. And then I'm going to fabricate a new bottom piece to pick it all up. And then build the frame in the centre. What a ridiculous amount of work for a trailer I don't really need, possibly. Idiot. Wow. Here we have Land Rover Mini Door 2.0. Looking pretty sweet, isn't it? I'm going to hang it now. Right, let's see if it fits. Boom. Here it is. Moment of truth. Ho, ho, ho. A little ugly on the back, but I'm going to reinforce all this a bit more and make a nice door card. But look at that. Boom. Like a golf. So it's been cut that way and that way. Boom. Well, it's time to paint the mini door. Now, I could have gone to a car paint shop and had some paint mixed up, but I need a little bit, and I don't really want to spray in here. But B&Q, of all places, will colour mix to a chip. So, I took along this piece of metal and asked them to put it through their machine. And I tell you what, that is a bloody good colour match. And it's also satin, not gloss. And because the whole tub is pretty satin, that is pretty sweet. What the finish is going to be like, I don't know. Let's find out. I've gone for the mini roller technique on this little bad boy. I've already done some of the detailing. Look at that. It's professional. While the paint's drying, let's chuck these lights in. 3, 2, 1. So here's my basic wiring loom. This is a bit of original trailer wire that I've then split into two, split down all the cables, and then on this side we've got 4 cables, which is earth, stop, indicate, backlight. Same on both sides. Okay, that's them lights all wired up. So let's do a quick light test. Got a battery over there. I'm just gonna live up these lights and I'll just move the positive round and test all the different circuits. Right, I won't be able to see, you will. Let me know if it's all working. First one. Second one. Third one. That's all of them, I think. Hopefully it'll work. Number plate's a little bit too shiny. I think we're going to have to patina that up.
What he was saying. And so, I like that. And it's like doing the work. So you put up the front, you stop putting one man on his front. He used to do, you know.
That's a bit better. That's a bit better. We have a trailer for street weekend. Well, that is it for this episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget, like it, subscribe it, follow us on Insta, all the links below. Take it easy.